And it's a win. The 8-2 Pittsburgh Steelers, Sean. What do you think, my friend? What do you think?
Man, I think it's great to be 8-2, but what an ugly game. It was an ugly game. So many penalties. That's not what we wanted to see at all. But thank God we came out with a W and we got a nice solid lead in the AFC North.
Amen, man. Brian, I said 4:45, didn't I? I ain't going to be late for my own funeral because I'll be dead. What's up, Walter Lemley, Doug, Robert Road? I am happiest for Justin Fields. That early slide could have been a disaster for our Steelers. I think we need to use Justin on those QB sneaks instead of Wilson. They can't stop it. Yeah, I agree, Sean. You need to use Justin in those situations, but you can't overdo some of that stuff too. So, that gimmicky stuff here and there is cool. But Russell Wilson, Sean, let's talk about him real quick. I know it was a big game. I thought that he did okay. It just weren't able to get it done there. I thought the offensive line was probably more of the story for the Pittsburgh Steelers in terms of Broderick Jones maybe playing a little bit poorly. But what do you think about Russell Wilson, his performance, the offensive line as a whole, and kind of that combination there as the Steelers win, man?
I think that they played good enough to get the win, just to get in, field goal range today. But obviously the red zone was horrible, and they're just unable to execute and punch one into the end zone today, which is a big disappointment for me. So, I mean, I guess I would give them a C. They passed, they went and got a win, but it wasn't pretty.
No, and it was a typical AFC North game, but this score should have been a blowout, Sean. Many opportunities, red zone, missed opportunity after missed opportunity. Chris Boswell, the hero, tying his career best, 6 field goals, scoring 18 points. This is the second time we've seen this story, though, with the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just a different cast of characters slightly. When Lamar Jackson needing a 2-point conversion in the same end zone as he did the last time. He just missed it to the opposite side this time instead of the right side to Andrews. But man, that was a heart stopper, man. That was a heart stopper. That could have been a disaster down there, dude. It could have ended up the Pittsburgh Steelers still had a chance to lose that game with 50 seconds left.
Oh, that was scary, wasn't it? It
Oh,
was there wasn't a moment in the game where it was just a comfortable, like, all right, we got this. It
no
was all the
doubt.
way classic AFC North rivalry game.
No doubt, dude. But we got to be excited. 8-2, the Pittsburgh Steelers leading the AFC North. And what we said earlier, Sean, in the pregame show, this game meant a lot more for Baltimore because now they find themselves in a very tough situation. 7-4 inside of the AFC conference. You have the Buffalo Bills that had a good start against the Kansas City Chiefs that I saw. They were up 6-0 when I came upstairs. So, yes, the Steelers could, honestly, if the Bills lost today, the Steelers could find themselves as the number 2 seed sitting right now in the AFC conference. But this hurts the Baltimore Ravens in a big way, Sean. Another division loss and another conference loss. Do you think this starts a downward trend for the Baltimore Ravens? And could the Steelers really run away with this division now?
I don't think the Steelers will run away with the division personally. I think the Ravens are going to go out there and find a way to win against the other teams in different conferences. They're good at winning games outside of the division, that's for sure. But like we've been saying in Mike Drop Sports, when it comes to the AFC North and the rivalry between Pittsburgh and Baltimore, it's just the past few years, Pittsburgh's got Lamar's number, and they really know how to contain him very well. And they did that today. And boy, what a big play by a couple of defenders out there. A couple of big plays. It was nice to have. Our defense really kept us in the game today. Thank God for our defense because,
No
man, the
doubt.
offense just wasn't firing today.
No doubt. And you called it before the game, Sean. We got to give Sean props. He called Peyton Wilson having a big day. I thought that play was probably the most pivotal part of this game. It stopped the Ravens dead in their tracks. And yes, the Steelers didn't convert and make something big happen off of it. But man, what a play from the rookie, Sean.
Man, I was out of my seat, once again. And like I said, the guy, he just plays until the whistle blows. He never stops and gives up on any plays. And he's been doing that consistently this whole year. And today he did it and made a big play while doing it. congratulations, Peyton Wilson. Welcome to the NFL. What a great rookie to have.
Oh, man, what a play, man. All right, guys, make sure you're smashing that like button. Let's get this show here on our live Steelers post-game show as the Pittsburgh Steelers now are 8-2 atop of the AFC North and really sitting nicely inside of the AFC conference as a whole. What'd you think, Sean, of this offensive line? I thought Broderick Jones struggled at times. I still think he can get this thing turned around. I feel like he was playing with a lot of emotion today in a heated rivalry. I thought a lot of the calls against him were a little ticky-tack, but they were still penalties nonetheless. What do you think, though, this overall performance of the Steelers' offensive line? Did they give Russell Wilson the necessary time in order to push the ball down the field, or were you kind of disappointed with their performance?
I'm pretty disappointed with their performance today. I saw a lot of pressure on Russell Wilson. They were getting after him all game. They had numerous sacks today. They were swatting the ball down to the ground. The offensive line struggled today, and it showed. And I would like to see a lot of improvement. And as far as the penalties, they got to do something about the penalties on the offense, man.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was both sides of the fence there too, with the Ravens getting a ton, the Steelers getting a ton. I felt like they let them play in certain situations, not getting flags, with pass interference and things of that nature. But in other instances, it was just a snooze fest with some of those penalties, man. Oh my Lord. It just is crazy to me how many penalties are in a NFL football game. It's freaking real, bro. It drives me nuts. Oh, all right, guys, let's get back to the chat here a little bit. TD's in the house. Brian Hanford's in the house. DJ, let's go. Thank you, DJ. It is the best damn sports show. Make sure you're hitting that like button, guys, as we continue through. It wasn't the game I thought it would be. I'll take it, these two teams. Yeah, it wasn't the game I thought it would be either, but I thought, honestly, it could have been a blowout for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It really could have. And, Sean, I learned one damn thing today, and I can say this confidently, my friend. The Steelers are a better football team than the Baltimore Ravens. I saw that. It may not have worked out exactly the way the Steelers planned, but here's a scary thought for the rest of the AFC conference and the NFL as a whole. The Steelers are a very, very incomplete football team that has a lot of room for growth, but yet are 8-2. And if I were the rest of the NFL, I would have to take notice of that, because you are looking at a football team that could grow in a big way and be really scary by the time they reach the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Imagine if they can just score whenever they get into the red zone, start putting up more points, what they can do. But they were able to go out there and get a win against basically the top three, power ranked team in the NFL, which, as we know, the power rankings are crap from all these sports media. But still, these guys are trying to shove this narrative down our throats all year long, week in and week out, and we're not buying it. We've been saying all year that this is the better team. I mean, you can't compare our defenses. We have the way superior defense over Baltimore. Yeah. And they controlled the clock today. They did the right things. They got the win, but bro, by far, Pittsburgh is the better team, I gotta say, and they proved it today. They went out. They beat them without any touchdowns. The Wizard of Oz is all we need.
Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus. Right down. Oh, I love it, dude. I love it. Robert Rowe brings up a good point. Steelers are now 8-2, 6-1 in the AFC and 1-0 in the AFC North. Ravens now 7-4, 4-4 in the AFC and 2-2 in the AFC North. The Steelers had to have this one. That was monstrous, man. And I think Hard Knocks is going to be a really damn good show, because they started filming, and I think that this is going to be a cool portion of it and a real turning point for the Pittsburgh Steelers in their season. Let's keep going through the chat. Classic AFC North game from TD. No doubt about it, man. No doubt about it. Let's keep going, guys. I can't get to all of them, but make sure you guys hit the shit out of that like button. What's up, Russ? What's up, Albert Wright? John Broadway, downtown on Boswell, we trust. Absolutely. What's up, Miss Pittsburgh? Man, that game was crazy. I know it was going to be a dogfight, but that was crazy, and we got the win. I thought this too, Sean. It showed a lot of damn character about this football team of the Pittsburgh Steelers. It showed now 2 weeks in a row sometimes when things aren't working out for them, they are still able to fight, still able to continue to claw back in football games and control football games. I really am impressed with this unity and with the way this team has come together. Are you not?
You got to be impressed. There is no quit in this football team this year. You saw it out there. You could see it on the sidelines. Our guys look focused even before the game even started. I saw a lot of just the demeanor. It's there. You need that. And when I saw Lamar Jackson on the sideline, I saw that classic look. What he looks like usually when he's in Pittsburgh or playing against us, sitting there with that big coat on, with his beanie on, looking pissed off. So it was another classic game for us Steelers fans, and I'm super happy about it.
No doubt, dude. Also, let's talk a little bit about some of the key contributors for Pittsburgh. Najee Harris, 60-some yards. Jalen Warren, 40-some yards. But they were timely yards, you know what I mean? And I got to appreciate those yards from the runners. Also, George Pickens, almost 100 yards, 89 yards. Russ only with 205. No touchdowns, but there were some plays there by key players that they really came through when they needed to come through. But what made me angry, Sean, about this game was that middle of the field was wide open. They didn't take advantage of it, only here and there to Darnell Washington a couple times. I thought the gross mismanagement of Pat Freiermuth continued. I do think that there are some significant deficiencies with this offense. I noticed one person on Twitter, which is a complete fool, said, "Oh, they need to learn to push the ball down the field." Well, jackass, then the line got a block. That starts them to push the ball down the field. They continually tried, Sean, to push the ball down the field. That wasn't the problem. But I do think that they grossly mismanaged this tight end room yet again. And I think that they grossly underused the middle of the field. Did you notice that during this ball game?
I did. I sure did. And when they did get the tight ends involved, it had like a big impact on the game. The one ball that Darnell didn't jump up for in the end zone that was picked off. Oh, that was devastating. That could have been a big momentum change again. That could have had the Steelers up with a nice big lead. So it's disappointing to see when they do get that opportunity to shine, and he failed. It was like shit, because we want more of that. We don't want Arthur Smith to be deterred from going to our big Mount Washington. I have faith in this guy, and
Yes.
they got to keep pushing the ball to the tight ends. Yes, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That
I don't
one
know
play,
why.
I don't know. I don't understand it either. Now, Darnell, I felt like he messed up a little bit there. We kind of thought maybe he didn't see the ball there, but that one interception that Russ threw, Darnell got to go climb the ladder for some of those things and use his body, use that physical style play that he can use. They were letting them be physical a little bit in the past game. So I felt like Darnell, that was a good learning moment for him, that maybe he got to look at that on the surface pad and say, hey, man, I got to be a little bit better in those situations. But a work in progress, Sean, a work in progress. What's up, Oscar? What's up, downtown? Third game where Boswell is the offensive player. Absolutely. Brian Hanford, Roquan Smith exiting the game was a big deal for sure. Absolutely. Thanks, Doug. Smash that like button for these guys. Appreciate you. No doubt about it. Oscar says Pickens is the only freaking wide receiver we have. This is sad. Is Mike Williams still in DC? No, I just thought that was another thing too, Sean. Thank you, Mitch. Appreciate you. Congrats on the win. Thank you. Yeah, I thought the Steelers didn't utilize everybody they wanted to, but again, I think that this all really fell back on that offensive line, Sean. I don't know how much of it was play calling. I don't know how much of it was the offense. I do know a lot of it was the offensive line, but I really got to say a lot of it fell on the feet of the offensive line in terms of their lack of production offensively. I really have come to that conclusion, you know?
Yeah, and Broderick Jones, like he's got to get those emotions in check, bro. Like I was seeing him, he was getting too hyped up. When emotions take over, you don't play good. You make bad decisions, and I hope Tomlin really gets that into their head this week.
Yeah, no, Mike Miller, you didn't say 17-14. You said 28 to set 27. But anyway, guys, nobody was close on the score, at least the predictions you guys gave there. Appreciate it, though. Edward Razorhand, shout out to Tucker for kicking for our team. Sean, what has happened to Justin Tucker? He fell off the earth, bro.
Bro, he probably looked across the field and saw, now that is a legend, when he looked at the Boz. And it just got in
Yes.
his head. You can't compare to the Boz, baby.
No doubt. Robert Rhodes says, go Bills. We play the Chiefs. I want the #1 seed. I think that this does set up for the Steelers. Now, you can't stumble here. You got to continue to progress and continue to get better day in, day out, week in, week out. But the Steelers do have an excellent opportunity. Say the Bills do beat the Chiefs here. This does open the door for the Pittsburgh Steelers to potentially be up in those top 1-2 seeds, Sean, and get that home playoff game. That's what I think you're striving for if you're the Steelers now. I think that we are to that point with this football team. I don't know about you. I don't know if I'm a little bit ahead of myself here, but I think right now, if you're a Steelers fan and you're the Steelers, you're looking to continually get better here and try to secure a 1 or 2 seed. That should be your damn goal now.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. They're in a position to where they can get that, man, that home field advantage in the postseason. That would be so big. We need that. That would, we can I'll take all the help we can get for Pittsburgh to make a deep playoff run. We've been starved of that for almost a decade here.
Yes. Daniel Warman says, Boswell is a beast. I'm so happy for the most dedicated fans in all of football. Bless you all. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate it, man. We're thankful for you, too. Cutthroat says, Wilson got sacked 4 times. Yeah, I do think this, though, Sean. Those 4 sacks came early. Now, the pressures were still there, but they did start to limit the sacks. The 4 sacks, I think, were all before the half, to be honest with you. I maybe one wasn't, but I thought they started to settle in, man. But yeah, 4 sacks is not a good performance at all. Doug says 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, and inside the 10 should be all Fields. He's too good of a weapon to waste. Do you think the Steelers should be looking in that direction, Sean? Inside of the red zone, do you think you start to see more Justin Fields, or do you think the gimmicks get you in trouble down there? What would be your philosophy as the Steelers head coach, as Mike Tomlin and Arthur Smith?
I don't see anything wrong with him going out and dabbling a little bit with Justin Fields. If he goes out there and he costs the team, a drive, then maybe, wean back off of that and just stick with Russ, the dangerous. But I think that he does bring a different element of danger onto the field. Justin Fields, as we saw, he when they went out there on these 3rd downs, they know, the Ravens know Fields is going to run this ball. That's why they just brought him out here. And you still can't hardly stop the guy from getting 7 to 8 yards every time he runs across the line of scrimmage. So I
Yeah, no
personally
doubt.
think that I don't see anything wrong with trying it a little bit more.
Yeah, here and there, I have no problem with it. I think if you overuse it, then you're asking for trouble. But I agree with what Sean says. Here and there, it doesn't hurt. And what Doug's saying, use the weapons you got. I agree, man. AK Davis brings up a good point. Seems like they didn't have any intermediate routes for tight ends. They had a lot of slow, deep developing routes. That could have perhaps, Sean, been a little bit of the issues for the offensive line, trying to figure things out there a little bit. Maybe that was part of the problem. But man, dude, they got to come out next week and really use this tight end room and really focus on using them. I think it's such a wasted weapon, man. It's bothering the shit out of me. I don't think I can stop thinking about how wasted of a opportunity they have with that tight end room.
Do you think that maybe they've kind of been just saving that for later in the season when we're really going to need it? I mean, I've been questioning why, just like you. Why haven't they been going to the tight ends? Maybe they just kind of plan on slowly adjusting throughout the season, because you can't get too complacent in the NFL. You got to keep things different from week to week. So maybe they start turning more to the tight ends as we further into the late half of the season.
Yeah, man. It's a good question, and you wonder, man. You really, really wonder, and it drives you bonkers. And we don't get to be in those meeting rooms. We don't get to be in that locker room. We don't know the game plan, but it makes you really scratch your head at times. All right, guys. Thank you for over 100 concurrent viewers. Make sure you are smashing that like button. We need to get those likes up. Double tap that screen for us here on our live Steelers our post game show here on Mike Drop Sports. I'm Jason. That's Sean. We appreciate all of your efforts. All you got to do is double tap that screen to send the show into the YouTube algorithm. The stat everyone hates: Tomlin secures another non-losing season. It's a fact. It is a fact. But I gotta say, I will applaud Mike Tomlin for this last stretch of a couple games here. One with the Commanders, one with the Ravens, Sean. And I'm curious of your thoughts on Tomlin here. Do you think that he has done a fantastic job of holding this team together in some very tight, highly contested ball games versus two very good football teams?
Yeah, my hat's off to Mike Tomlin right now. He's doing a very good job, and he's also shown that he's not afraid to think and act outside of the box by taking Justin Fields out when he had the hot hand and rolling with Russ, and all of us was freaking out, going, "Oh my God, what are we doing?" And I got to take my hat off to Tomlin for pulling a trigger on making that move. And the past few weeks against Washington, going in their house and coming out with a dub, and then getting another win against Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, who everybody thought was going to run all over our defense. Hats off, man. I'm proud of Tomlin, and you know what? I wouldn't
Me
trade him
too.
for any other coach in the NFL right now. And yeah, he's gotten a reputation of mediocre Mike, but you know what? I think that changes this year. This is the year
I,
they go out there and go deep in the playoffs.
Yeah, I was hoping, man. I'm all about omens, Sean. I even texted you during the game for it. What if Boz would have went out and made that seventh field goal, man, to break his record, his career best? 7 field goals going for that seventh Lombardi. That would have been something really eerie, man. I'm all about the omens, man.
Oh,
Thomas
no.
Breeze says 2 missed field goals, 2 TOs, and the Steelers needed all of it. An ugly win is a win. Absolutely, no doubt. John Broadway, not a pretty game, but thank you, Boswell. He deserves Offensive Player of the Year. He deserves something, man. No doubt about it downtown. Mike Miller, I will buy everyone a beer for all the Steelers fans. You got to get a lot of money. We are worldwide, baby. Worldwide. Yeah, guys, big win, man. So make sure you guys are smashing the like button as the Steelers improve to 8-2 here in Week 11, taking control of the AFC North. What's the next game, Browns?
You know
I
what?
think it is Browns. I was so pumped for today, I didn't even look.
I could check.
Russ says, okay. Russ says you learn from a game like this. Yeah, you learn from these tight football games, guys. You learn from these games week in and week out. You become battle tested. That's not just a cliche thing to say. Battle tested is a real thing. You start to develop more and more character each week, week in, week out. You figure ways out to win, man. That is exactly what you're looking for if you are the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, Russ, that would have been a good game to go to. Appreciate you guys waving those emojis, wave those terrible towels. Appreciate it from the mic drop mafia, downtown John Broadway. And yeah, I'm disappointed by Washington not trying for that end zone pass, man. Why? Yes, that was a big one. We are paying for these years. We haven't gotten good O-line draft picks in the last couple years. I think we have gotten good O-line draft picks. I just think they are trying to figure it out. And then the loss of Tanu sucked. But I think Broderick Jones will get it together, man. I have faith in him.
Yeah,
Kevin
it's
Lynch, go ahead,
we
Sean.
got the Cleveland Browns next week. Yes, and we're gonna be in Cleveland, and then
On
after that
Thursday, right?
uh, oh boy, oh boy, oh
What's the
boy.
date, Sean?
Yep, Thursday, 11:21 at 8:15 Eastern
Yep,
Standard Time. And
there we
then after
go.
that, the week after, we got the Bengals in Cincinnati. So here we go.
Yes. So 2 more AFC North games, Sean. One versus the Cleveland Browns, one versus the Bengals. Looking ahead here a little bit, what's your initial feelings here? Do you think these are trap games now, headed into two teams that haven't been doing very well, but the Steelers have historically done very well against these two teams here over the last few seasons for sure? Owning the AFC North in reality since 2020. We've already went through those statistics. Those aren't lies. Those are the stats. But do you think the Steelers set up now here for some possible trap games in terms of the Bengals and the Browns? What do you think about that as we head into those weeks?
Obviously, I'm a little bit more worried about the Cincinnati Bengals than I am the Browns. I think the Browns are the Browns, and where they're going to handle business there. I could see Pittsburgh maybe dropping one of these games. But then again, this is a whole different revamped Pittsburgh Steelers team. So I'm kind of on the fence. I'm a little worried, but not too worried, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, you have that weird feeling in your pit of your stomach, like, man, let's not do those typical things that we've done here over the last few years. let's not fall into the trap of losing to a couple bad teams in a row, putting yourself back in a compromising situation. The Steelers do find themselves in their best spot since the Pittsburgh Steelers went 11-0 under Ben Roethlisberger several seasons back to start the year. Again, the Steelers here sit 8-2, heading into a lot of divisional games, a lot of tough games, man. And I think this team winning in the fashions that they have won here in the last 2 weeks, the same hard-fought, gritty nature that in which they win these last 2 games, I think that it is setting them up for success here heading into the back half of the year. Why? Because they're going to be battle tested, Sean. It's proven to all roll out in their favor. Really, everything seems to be just working in their favor, man.
Yeah, and you know what? You're not going to hear me complain about that.
No doubt, Kevin Lynch, they should have run some screens with Harris or Warren. To the Ravens' credit, they were ready for our wide receivers, not our running backs. This game shouldn't have been this close. I thought it should have been a blowout the way the Steelers had the opportunities, but it didn't happen. Yeah, you got to try everything you can, man. Foot's big. No, like, unless I'm mentioned. Oh, thank you, Foot's big. Appreciate it. Well, now you're mentioned. James Bauman, they definitely need more quick plants in this offense back, definitely. Yeah, Sean, I do think they need more of that 3-step drop, hit that back foot, deliver the football. I thought that could have come in handy a little bit. Do you think with the so-called moon balls of Russell Wilson, do you think they got in maybe a little bit of a rut relying on just that more than, maybe some more of the timing, anticipation things that we were talking about during the game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the same thing. The offensive line was struggling today. Obviously, they were putting a lot of pressure, so you would think you would adjust to that and call a couple of 3-step drop backs and fire the ball with a slant across the middle and anticipate the throw. And they did that a couple times today, and each time they did it, they seemed to be moving the chains. So, to me, I asked myself, why aren't they sticking with that game plan?
Yeah, do more of it. You got to mix things up a little bit. Those anticipation throws to a guy like Darnell Washington, that was 3 steps, fire. Fire the fucking pigskin, baby. Like you said, Sean, fire the
Yeah.
pigskin, baby.
Yeah, fire that thing. Step up in the pocket, be confident, and anticipate the throw, and good things usually come forward.
Amen. Greg Dayton says this is the second best team in the AFC. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think they're one of the top 3 right now. I mean, as we sit through week 11, no doubt about it. I think
Hey
so,
man,
Sean.
hey man, any given Sunday, maybe they're the best. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Yeah, the mental mistakes were tough today too. I thought that maybe Broderick, that was part of his problem, Sean, when they were having all those scuffles and flags there at the end of the half, toward the end of the half, the fighting, the pushing around, the getting crazy, man. I thought that that's when Broderick got off his game. Is that when you felt like he kind of slipped off the map a little bit?
Yeah, I do, man. I have to agree. And you can see it in his face, man. The guy was definitely disturbed and he's not thinking clearly. And I was kind of hoping Tomlin would pull him and set him down for a couple of drives, let him regather himself because sometimes you really got to do that. Just step back, take a deep breath, think about things, and go back out there with a good plan. You got to have a short memory when you're playing in the bigs.
Yeah, man, you got to have a short memory. Yeah. And you know what else I thought? And it just popped into my head. And I thought that this is something that had to be brought up today here on the show, in the post game show, Sean. I thought Minka Fitzpatrick had some really not so good plays against the tight ends, man. He was not covering them very well today. I thought there was a couple big plays. What'd you think of Minka's overall performance? I didn't think it was horrible, but what do you think about his overall performance today?
I think that he's about to earn the nickname Mediocre Mika. I mean, it's been bad. He hasn't made any big splash plays. He's kind of, yeah, he made a couple of big tackles today, but it was on blown coverage. So it's not like we can really give him much praise. But I would really love to see for him step up and make some plays for us.
Yeah, man. Split man 1116 says Christmas Day will decide the #1 seed. Chiefs are playing like us, lucky with excellent coaches. I don't think the Steelers are lucky right now. I think that they are battling, man. And yeah, you got to have luck. That's always a good thing to have. But I really think that they're not. I think they are a damn good football team, Sean. I don't think this is all luck. I think people may think it's a lot of luck, but you got to have some luck, no doubt about it. But I think this is a damn good ball club.
I agree.
No doubt about it. Let's keep going. Something to think about. Russ got one from the Chiefs last year. I think we can beat any team. After you've witnessed this today, Sean, the Steelers go in, beat Washington in their place last week. Now they come home, they beat the Baltimore Ravens today and take control of the AFC North. Are you worried that is there any team that you would sit there and say, nah, they ain't got a chance?
No, I believe Pittsburgh can beat anybody in the NFL. I'm not saying that they're going to go undefeated. I'm just saying they do have the talent and a veteran quarterback that's healthy right now. Therefore, I feel like they have a chance. And our defense in Pittsburgh is just amazing. So, any given Sunday, you guys.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Any given Sunday. All right, guys. Hey, if I missed your chat, we're back down to the bottom. I'm sorry, guys. I can't even go back through. There's too many. So if I missed your thing, you can put it back in. Sometimes, again, when the chat is busy, we can't get to everybody. It's very, very hard sometimes. And you guys have been showing up and showing out. And we truly appreciate the amount of viewership. It has been awesome. So let's continue to keep going. They were a lucky 11-0 team. This team is much, much better than that this year. Yeah, I think they're a better football team. What happened to Mike Williams? Again, when you can't push the ball down the field as maybe as much as you want with some of the plays that have been going on. But I thought Mike Williams will maybe get more involved as the weeks go on. Sean, are you concerned that you didn't see a ton of Mike Williams today? Or do you think that this is just more of a work in progress with him to get him more acclimated to this offense and more involved in this offense as the weeks progress?
I'm not concerned just because it's only a second week on the team. He's still got to learn the playbook. And, we got to utilize our number one wide receiver. I was happy to see Pickens out there getting the ball thrown at him multiple times. He really stepped up big for us, and he also stepped out of bounds when he shouldn't have. But still, we got to keep that guy involved in the game plan. But, we got to utilize every weapon that we have, and we got to utilize them the right way.
Yeah, no doubt. Walter Lemley says off game for the offense and still won. Absolutely, Russ. I won't give Tomlin credit till we win a Super Bowl. Then I will. Split man. I was thinking the same thing, Tom. I didn't see Williams anywhere. He could have opened up the offense more. Yeah, I think there's a bigger picture, guys. I really, really do. I think that, you got to look at the amount of reps that this guy got. You got to look at the amount of opportunities that could have possibly been there. I just think there's a ton of variables at play with a guy that is only in his second week with the ball team, which I can understand the frustrations definitely from the fan base, no doubt about that. All right, guys, make sure we are hitting that like button. We need to get those likes up as we've been hovering or over 100 concurrent viewers at all times during this live Steelers postgame show. So make sure you are double tapping that screen and liking the show. We truly appreciate it. I'm Jason, that's Sean. This is Mike Drop Sports. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you are subscribing to the best show in town. We appreciate it. I seen Williams only once. Raven coverage was very good. I do think the Ravens played better than their ranking in terms of their pass coverage. But I thought that they got helped out by that defensive front for Baltimore. Do you think that the Steelers just faced and ran into a very good defensive front for the Baltimore Ravens today? Do you think that that should be more of the story, Sean?
I think it was a great effort by Baltimore today. They really wanted to come out there and get that W so they can try to play us back in their house again and try to win the division. And, so they had a great effort, but they came up short, and the better team won today.
Yeah, no doubt. Good win for y'all today. Sometimes a gut check win against a good team is a catalyst for the end of the season. These Steelers are warriors. Yeah, they are warriors. I'll give them that, man. No doubt about it, Corey. Greg Dayton, the Steelers can beat anybody. Foot's big calls went both ways today for the most part. Chiefs get help constantly. Yeah, that's definitely an argument for, somewhere else probably. I can't stand the officiating, guys. You know that. Sean's kind of indifferent about it, too. We're not very happy with them. If Fitzpatrick wouldn't have got the shoestring tackle on Derrick Henry, the Steelers might have lost the game. Yeah, that was one of the big plays, Sean. I will give him that one. I did forget about that. That was a big play.
Yep, he made couple of big tackles today. Absolutely.
You got my like. Thank you. Appreciate it. Corey Lacotte, Queen played like a king. Yeah, what'd you think about Patrick Queen today, Sean? That's another one that I wanted to bring up. PQ with that big forced fumble, all the tackles, and just the way he came out and played, man. I got to hand it to him.
Forced fumble and recovered the football on that same play. Talk about sticking it to the man that said you weren't good enough to play in our city. So he comes to Pittsburgh where the grass is greener, and he really stuck it to the man. And I really got to say, right on, Patrick Queen. Welcome to Pittsburgh. Glad to have you.
Absolutely. Mike Tomlin said in his post-game press conference, another man's trash is another man's treasure. And definitely that was the truth. All right, guys, wave those terrible towels from Miss Pittsburgh. Split, appreciate it. Playbook should been simplified for Williams in such a big game. Jump balls down towards the red zone instead of field goals and used as a decoy. Yeah, there's a lot of what ifs, Sean. You know what I mean? There's tons of what ifs. What if you did this? What if you did that? And I've learned that as a coach, you can question yourself 100 times after the game, and you're going to think of 1,000,001 different things that you shoulda, coulda, woulda, did. But hey, a win's a win, brother. You know what I mean?
8-2. Here we go.
Yeah. Win's a win, baby. I'll take it at this point because now the road gets narrow, Sean. The Steelers now start to see that road becoming slimmer and slimmer because the games get more and more difficult. Things become more and more sorted out in terms of what you need to do in order to be in the position you want to be in terms of playoff seeding and what's going on in the league and what you're trying to achieve. And I just definitely think the Steelers are handling that well, doing what they need to do, and just getting it done. Just getting it done, baby.
Yeah, just do your job. That's all we want to see.
Yeah. John Broadway says, Sean, how's that wind feeling in Aloha Day? Much
Oh,
appreciated.
bro, we are loving it out here, brother. It's amazing. It just makes that weekend complete. I can go to work tomorrow and just have a big smile on my face. And come to find out, one of my coworkers is a Pittsburgh Steeler fan too. So we be waving those towels at work too, bro.
Yeah, what's not right? Roquan Smith missing snaps was I mean, any player of the significance of Roquan Smith not being in there, Sean, is gonna help your efforts. You know what I mean? No doubt about that. But there's injuries on both sides of the ball. The injury game is definitely something tough. I don't never remember injuries like this back when I was a kid. I swear, dude, the NFL is just full of flags and injuries. It just makes me absolutely batshit crazy.
Yeah, what is going on with the injuries? It's been crazy the past few years.
Oh, it's every freaking play, bro. All right, guys, make sure you're smacking that like button. We need to get those likes up here on Steel City Live, our live post game show. I'm Jason, that's Sean. Subscribe if you aren't already. We are in here all the time talking Pittsburgh Steelers football. We truly try to make sure we include you guys, the fans, in every show as much as humanly possible. I was stoked when we scooped up Queen. He and Roquan were dominant for the Ratbirds, gained an excellent middle linebacker that we've been lacking and took him from the Ratbirds. Absolutely, man. No doubt about it. Buffalo Bills, touchdown 7 and 12. Who's winning that game?
Bills are, I believe, 13-7 right now.
Oh, there you go, guys. That's big. Definitely, this is going to start to be a battle. And I look at the AFC now as a whole, and I think that there's the Ravens now on the outside looking in at that top 3-4 team race, in my opinion. I think you got the Bills, you got the Chiefs, and you got the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that that's the top 3 inside of the AFC conference right now. Do you think this is starting to look like a 3-horse race, Sean, at the 1 and 2 seed?
Yeah, I mean, you're starting to see, certain teams are shining through when it matters most. So, I mean, it's given us a glimpse through the window, but I don't know. We'll see. This is a really tough back end stretch for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we got to go. We got 2 more divisional games coming up in 2 weeks, and will Mike Tomlin have this team ready to go? Is it going to be a trap game? I don't know about a trap game. I feel like our team is kind of is fed up with this. The fans have spoken. Mike Tomlin has heard. Everybody in that locker room's got to know we got to win some postseason games. We got to make a real, true playoff push. Otherwise, all of our asses are going to be out the door before we know it.
Yeah, no doubt. Daniel Warman, any chance the Steelers can loan the Bengals 4 wins? We'll pay you all back next year. Sean is so right. When you beat the Ravens without scoring a touchdown, yeah, it's a special team. Thanks, guys. Absolutely. But yeah, you got Chris Boswell. You can beat anybody without scoring a touchdown because he's a monster. He's non-human. But yeah, definitely. We could loan you some wins, but you wouldn't like our interest rate, Daniel. You wouldn't like it. We run very high interest rates up in this bitch. All right, guys, let's keep going through the chat. Roses are red, violets are blue. What you gonna do when the Steelers defense comes for you? That's from Rust. Corrick says, I'd like to see some more tight end receptions. Washington is like 10 foot tall. Fryermuth's got the hands. Hard to see limit chemistry with the quarterbacks. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. That's a mystery for us, guys. We're not sure what's going on there. But yeah, it is what it is. All right, Sean, let's start wrapping this up, guys. We've been doing we've been almost 2 hours now of content today for Sean and I, so we're gonna start winding this thing down here. But Sean, your overall thoughts of this performance, this game, what you're looking for going forward. What's your feel, brother, after this? Your kind of closing thoughts here.
My closing thoughts are you got to take this win, enjoy the day, kind of cherish these moments. But as soon as tomorrow that sun comes back up again, it's back on the grind. You got to prepare for the Cleveland Browns. We can't go in there not expecting a big fight. These guys are going to play us tough. It's a divisional rivalry. I know that a lot of people don't want to say that, but it is. It's the Browns. They're going to try to do whatever they can to knock us off our high horse. So I think that I guess stay focused is what I want to ride off with. We all need to just stay focused, whether it's focused on keeping cool, staying calm, not ever hitting a panic button, and just be prepared. Focus, prepare.
Amen, man. That's it. Stay focused. Stay the course, man. Don't lose yourself, man. Just continue to do what you're doing. Put your freaking nose down and work and work and work. And I think that's what this team has been about all year. And to all the people that I've been seeing here on social media in front of my face, I got things coming up. People saying go back to Justin, bench Russ. You can't play that flip-flop game, Sean. I hate that shit. And it is what it is, guys. Every bad performance can't be bench that person. Do this, do that. Yeah, you may take them out for a series or something, make them get their head straight or something like that. But the answer isn't always just bench somebody, do this, change that. It ain't that simple. If it was, we'd have about 40 Lombardis sitting in a trophy case down there on the south side if it was that easy, Sean. All right, guys. Thank you so very much for joining us. We will be back tomorrow. Thank you, Sean, for joining us. We will see Sean again next weekend. He will be back with us, and we will be rocking and rolling. And this is a short week, so we'll have to get that one going. So, Sean, you'll be on a weekend. You won't be able to do Cleveland game Thursday night because that'll be a little bit out of your time frame.
Yeah. I'll see you guys for the Bengals game. And like
Amen,
I said, let's
baby.
not overlook nobody. We're not going to overlook nothing. The Steelers team is prepared. Let's go out there and get another dub.
No doubt. Let's head into a 9-3 week. That's what we're looking at next. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you guys so very much in the excellent participation today. We are sorry if we didn't get to all the chat, but again, sometimes it's far too busy, and today was one of those days. So, all right, guys. Until next time, I'm Jason. That's Sean. It's Mic Drop Sports. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. See ya. Thanks, Sean.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Have a good day, everybody.
You too, man.